Hello, how is everyone? Normally, people celebrate in the last week of August. So, the first week, I talk about that which is vibrating. The second week, for that which is inside. The third, or what that which is around, is a cover and construct. And the fourth is the outside, the scenario as such. One does not tend to feel as part of the scenario when one enters at first sight. It takes time. Takes time to open the senses, the forms of intelligence for something that is perhaps beyond yourself or where you belong. So celebration, just a celebration. I could just um, say that people are starting to experience new ways of finding out. Is a celebration that is met with discovery, and that maybe is drawn with what is already known. Celebration may be different for everyone. I have myself danced and celebrated through meditation, is revaluing and just with what you have. It's like stock again. It's coming. People want more and more. So some people need to drink to celebrate, take drugs. I can go naturally crazy, which is with an already settled place where it's being. It's just not. It does not just happen like that. There is people coordinating. There is people preparing it. There is a phenomenon that gathers people together to celebrate. Um, Many do it to feel protected and that they belong to something as a form of survival, which is very different from those who have enough to celebrate with. It's another, you do cut, that is another level. So, well, cheers for that. Some people really want, most of the people want to see in others what they want from them. So they move through other paths, but that's not really celebrating, that's not really fulfilling your cup, that's not really like overwhelming you. That there is victorious song that goes on and on and on. So yes, I was looking for music and I didn't really find something. So I am moving from this place and is overwhelming. I normally I have people work for me so they could this do all this, and life changes you as you change scenario, and for one reason or another. So it comes for me to see that I'm celebrating myself for my achievements, and to have meet people that are doing something worthier than just dancing, which, right, is not to be forgotten. I used to dance without drinking, and I didn't really like to talk because I was in another state of mind. One day the DJ said, "𝙬𝙗𝙨, you have the best man that come to you. And why don't you go with any of them? I've seen you all this summer." And, and I said, "Well, I just keep dancing. 'Cause, like, where should I go? I'm already there." So they just want what. Funny if they were really, if they were me, they would be simply dancing and celebrating until the last song. But they want to get something. So it's like, well, if they want to get something from me, they would rather trash me as well, because they just got it and they can just get it out, right? So I was coming from India after my master of meditation died. So there was a bloom of energy that he left. So I was very poor. Um, I wish to have a daughter. Um, when I was in, um, a friend, a companion, not that has to be with me, but that I would need someone to be grounded, so I could just um, get down to the things we need in life, ordinary things that we also work and get to celebrate with as well, not just so. Because it's a state of silence. It's another state of the mind. It's another state that is, you can push anyone to get into that state of celebration, and people must seek to get there. And it multiplies, for sure. It multiplies, and it can never be forced, because I've been with other professional dancers. Um, we want everyone to a higher state, because there are many higher states when we want everyone to get into that childlike dance that has no purpose. Children just like to play. Of course, they want to win and that, but they will just do it to keep playing. And it has that cheering, um, very innocent childlike play, and for that you state of abundance. That's so much to give there that it just overflows through you. So no one is really giving it. It's part of the vibe, and for that which surrounds you in that scenario. You can have the best day and architecture, people, but there's something else. They're real nice people on that level. So it is very beautiful just to remember that exists. And in India, to dance in the meditations to bring a positive closure after hardcore meditations, where you touch very low and there are faces. So celebrating is to meet another person, even though meeting so many people. I have orange juice here. Well, that's carrot juice. Well, celebrating to see that people see beauty in other things. I was gonna get something to clean here. But I guess. Well, that's it. That's my word for the week. And it's the theme of the month. I wish everyone to get to those levels, soften the heart a bit, and to celebrate techtheself.org is well, it's a journey to try to find mediators. It would be nice to pay mediators to pay. I would love to find a way to pay. I don't think the word is influencer, but we can find a word for that, which is the word century, for those who will give credit to others and teach others and find in the world other people. Is to promote mansions into villages as well in third world countries. So they get paid and they teach to give credit for those to do as well and reach those levels. So I don't think it's easy for anyone to trust that it's possible. I wish for the tech titans to unite and create one basic, because there is so much in the world that needs to be done, and being fighting with each other, it takes a lot of energy away instead of just investing in the world for what it needs. And the world needs to report as well in this three-dimensional planet called Earth. So, well, I have been sleeping too much. Um, I am alone as well. I'm alone doing, because I watch people and they seem to be alone, like they don't have much direction. They just keep talking. It's like, what are you doing? You're judging other people that are talking and are not doing anything, but you're also just talking. So this is mostly to promote other influencers to get to go out and find a village in a third world country, so as to start building a mansion that blends in the village, and you can have your property. It's not an organization, it's your property, and people will earn and learn that is what is their earning through credit. So it's not like a salary. Salary is a contract for life where they are going to build and work for the community, and that's what they're going to have. They're going to have their home by the time they have worked so many years, but at the same time they're working to build water. They're working. What salary can you have from that until you reach your own salary and you become a supervisor, because you're just learning. So if you're learning, you're having a, people don't even know how to talk or make something together. So they have to appreciate that they are learning. And there is a lot of social problems, from sexuality and freedom Woman will never find freedom until man finds their own freedom as well. So that's a war of the sexes as well. Because what are you going to do if all these male programmers want to teach artificial intelligence something that is not, because they are controlling the information as well, is what people report. Women don't want to be harassed on internet or anywhere. So it goes back to the same pattern. Um, if you want to celebrate that, it's not very uplifting is to go extend oneself beyond what we think to be. We need our ego, of course, we do need it. But we need to see that the world is getting better as well. The people can report, the whistleblowers are not criminals, and that companies are not being subjugated from their own work. So it's created a path to better the company, because it just comes down to a trial. So it shouldn't be in a trial. Companies like McDonald's, the information doesn't get through. It gets lost. They have paths, but it doesn't get through. They have so many people in between. So this needs to be noted and electronically for each field and workforce, where it's not going to create a war because you are noticed, but they must find other ways of producing, for example, boxes. You can have those boxes and return the boxes back. The boxes are on paper, magazines, they are destroying a lot of trees as well. So we can create other forms. And we need a lot of agents of change. So change means death at the same time. And death is also to be celebrated. If you celebrate death, you can celebrate anything. And that's not said by me, that's said by spiritual masters, of course, because death represents change and transformation. So it is not kill the past, but just to, what is funny though, this orange. So hard to celebrate if one has so much fear of letting go. I myself don't even know where I want to go. I don't want to go to this place. I don't want to go to this other place like this. Yes, I am lazy just to think too much. Just go back to my bed because I'd rather be high naturally and forget about all this. So, this a book from Helen Vendler from Dickinson. Selected poems and commentaries. So the part of the poem said, and something odd within the person that I was and this one do not feel the same. Could it be madness, this? Also, we really rely on this is a comment here. Also, we rely on the continuity of the ego itself, dependent on memory, to construct our self-image. When we find a rupture between our hungry past feelings long continued that became, over time, the motives and shape ourselves, and our present dismayed reputation of them wondering who the person was whoever wanted that. We are hard put to it to name the newly repudiating self, since we had been so accustomed to the desiring one that the dramatic vista of satisfaction which opens this poem, I have been hungry all these years. My noon had come, my noon had come to dine, sure eventuate in the bleak. No way, nor was I hungry, illustrates the door discontinuity between naivety and knowledge, the only incomplete line of this poem, which maintains a steady 4-3-4-3 rhythm throughout in the penultimate one, which is truncated to beats of persons outside windows. This telling line, like the earlier self, is permanently missing something. So it's cool because I had written about being hungry and eating, and then I got this parable. So as to say, Dickinson. Wow, this is memorable. Quotations of Emily Dickinson are drawn from the poems of Emily Dickinson. So she wrote a lot of poetry, and it's a funny mustache. So well, I hope everyone has a good time this month. Today is the 4th of August, 2023. Look at that. Also, mediators can go and talk with other people from Russia and China and Taiwan and just get over all these political views and start to build something that's a bit more into the world that we want to be, and observing others' conversation and and get to soften the political views as well, because they kind of carry so much tension with all these opposites. What's the point, anyways? Um, so well, it's interesting. It's interesting. I would love to meet or Lex Fredman. Well, I see them on YouTube, which is satisfying. So it's 𝙬𝙬𝙖𝙩. Of course, I like to see also what Elon Musk is doing, even though he's like building a cult with all these um, images, the images that people make from artificial generative. I so well that would be cool for virtual reality, and to settle down and get to think wisely, to also create that field of talking and learning about this, because it's as good as dangerous. People can become stuck in character or can keep repeating something with an addiction, but they're not going anywhere, just producing more trash. They are going away from really means, and to be alive, and to create a prosperous life, not just for you but for others. So there is there are boundaries between fantasy and reality. I have worked very hard on my life and celebrate it and love lately to be alone a lot. But kind of work like this, being alone. Um, just I see other people working, of course. Well, is to not force too much things. And I'm glad to see Andrew Tate talk with Candence. And there must be so many people out there. So it can only work through credit, where people can earn and work through values and get to see other people working as well, and getting to teach and learn, and also coming down to the floor and move your hands in the dirt. Yeah, if you have to put bricks one day, or with the team, at least once a year, when you go there on a holiday, as today in August, and with that people, that village, and you're meeting other organizations that donate books, that donate clothes that you're bringing, and maybe you end up in a factory that creates chiffon or silks, brocade, or just beautiful materials, and you ask the person, would you give me your supervisor, manager, give me half of them, and we create another factory in this place, with third world country, and you will tell me what they need to do, so we can invest in it. So this can be this can be put together when you dialogue, when you learn to mediate, when you give credit, when you give trust, and when you work and pay your debts. You pay just to be alive and celebrate. That's to cherish. But you're not doing it for survival. You're doing it because you are overwhelmed of abundance. So it is beautiful to come down and to be up as well, to honor those who give you credit and trust in you as you give to others. There are mistakes, of course, but Christians know how to forgive and carry on. From other cultures that I don't know, all the cultures as mine, as well as mine, we do know how to say forgiveness and carry on. People keep fighting to be the best, of course, and this is a loss of energy for what goes outside as what is going inside. And it's good, it's cool to manifest and to learn and to make. I mean, I actually love all the images of Elon Musk. I find it like anyone that could see that can reflect that we could be anything and just have fun, right? Sometimes it's too much seeing the same from one person, so it's not natural to the eye. So I think that these people earn money or want to earn money with him, so they do that. So it's kind of like an obsession, and at the same time an exploration, because it's new artificial intelligence to create images. It's not really it. It's like, what are they going to be doing this all their lives? I hope they're just excited. Yeah, it's cool. It's good propaganda, whatever. If you need one hero, why cannot everyone do something a little more practical? Putting themselves and understand those who have won more viewers because they're soft spoken, because they have charisma, because they have what they're talking about. They studied for that. um, Lex Friedman, he always goes to the bright side with his opinion as well. So I can't believe he doesn't have a car. So well, it would be interesting to see that we are learning and teaching, having credit and giving credit. So it's not just to have it, because then you have to check how they're doing. You have to check they are fulfilling their tasks. They have to know how to use money. This has been invested for this. So when the when the when the technicians have created how they put budget, and we can see on internet everything that is being invested there, then it can be done. People are socially resented, full of hatred, more who have invited them to celebrate and create something beautiful, as Meghan Markle, who is the example of the people who murdered my father, whom he created a town for. They all got jealous and they all start gossiping, and then one murdered him because they didn't want to pay the credit. It was being cheaper and with no entrance because he wanted to help people. So they were jealous and they didn't want to recognize everything that was giving. He was creating water. He was working to get the roads, school. So Meghan Markle is the example of a person who, when he gets something, he gets resentful and he thinks to be better and he doesn't want to contribute. He wants to take the attention that she got from the people who gave her that power of attention to herself against those who gave her power. So this is of the people that are so confused, need to learn how to handle powers, to keep towards what multiplies. So storytelling is always fascinating when it comes to the kings because it shows us a morale. It shows us how things can turn to be, and we reflect with these archetypes of highness to conquerors to warriors. There's always problems in the way, of course. Nothing is perfect when we go into the unknown, so problems will be there. But put with all the goodness that's been given. Cheers. So I really love listening to 𝙬𝙤𝙖𝙩, beautiful voice, whoever this person might be. Some know who he is. It's quite admirable to think that this is coming down to talk with people. So a voice that is amazing, is out of this world, to say that not even people who are in the highest class talk like so good. And well, There's nothing really much to say than the same thing going around. Um, we'll see where I end up living because I have some places to go, and it's all really about the budget. So I'm going to try to invest in the right direction to form this a little bit more. I don't know. I don't even want to have people following me, or I don't feel comfortable by having a big audience. It's just thinking to myself, for that which is for the self, but I would love to be behind supporting those who are celebrating the good earth, because they are multiplying it in real life. And they know the boundaries from real life to virtual reality. The problem is that in the future, there's going to be people that are going to get distorted and they think they're elves, like the ex-wife or ex-girlfriend of Elon Musk. She must think she's an elf. She must have square frame glasses. She thinks she's got these characters. So we can interpret any story, any character, but we must be aware there are forms of expression, and we must prepare for the future to create these boundaries. We can create these characters as they are words. We can use thousands and millions of words. It doesn't mean those words are whom we are. We are the creators of these stories that compose with the color, the elements, the backstage, the front stage, the characters around, and you can zigzag with them as be part of them, as you can be those characters as well. And then you just come back to yourself, keep yourself. This as people cannot be disassociating whom they are now. This is just a seed of evil, because people need to distort, because people need to forget whom they are because of the pain they carry and the traumas. They have no solidified pillars. They didn't have a healthy childhood upbringing. Even if it was perfect, it's boring. So they want to create, and they're not. Like, and all this is good as an artist. Okay, as this, okay, but as a person that is dealing with other people, it is not healthy at all. We are humans. And if you imagine the dangers that this can be, what are people going to do just to keep up the mental illness that is creating a character in real life? What are they going to do? Because many would do it to have more followers, like this person that cuts himself and cuts his leg, cuts his finger. All this is just to get viewers, to think they're superior, or to think they are different. So it calls attention, and this is creating more mental illness with society. Just to be is already a lot. just to be aware of the needs of others, to be aware of the needs of this planet. And yes, there are many people who are against the environment, and there are many people who are pro going to another planet and using from this planet just to go and create oppositions towards government so they can make their own government in another planet or so. And these are just the same. Uh, we are in this generation. This is what's happening now. So it is controversies is what creates more viewers, of course. But people will start to look more where they can have credit and have their own money in real life. Trust. People are not going to give their money to people they can only happen through trust, and this is thought Christianity as well. And Buddhists can learn to trust with other, and Muslims can learn as well to give credit and trust. But for that, it needs the technical panel where see they are investing on what's to be done because they need these tools and where did they buy it. All this has to be noted. Very important for the tech titans to unite to create a better world. And it's remove people that want to destroy what we have with wars and misleading news. Of course, it's leading towards their truth, but we don't need so much truth anyways. These kinds of truths, they are just stories of the past. What do you want? Want us to keep fighting to repeat the traumas? Uh, no one is perfect. The people in China are not perfect. You are not perfect. So let's try to be in something. So we can only respect for that's coming from the above, and that we are also have a position to receive, to be above others, to give. Like I need a napkin here. It's not so as above as below. When you get in the storytelling, you get to play all this character. You get to have more fun in real life to conjure a beautiful story. That of course drama is part of it. We must prepare in advance with each other. It's not a problem. Programmers think they can control everything with whom they're talking about. When they come to talk about things they have done and whom they are, but when they're asked to press the red button, would you let go of your ego, whom you think you're with your identity? Because there could have been another answer. You could say yes. It doesn't mean you're going to lose your wife and whom you are, which is to be expanded, to have expand. Because let go of your identity doesn't mean that you're going to kill your identity, but it feels so. This is the hatred towards enlightenment, towards woman as well, because with women you reach a higher orgasm, and the highest orgasm. I don't mean uh, male ejaculation. The highest orgasm means death. So you're going beyond yourself and the other. So it's not the other, then it's you're going beyond. And you need sometimes to be alone to understand this. So nothing is attached to you. And it's difficult to return as well, or to maintain there and to be present as well. Because to transcend should be an exercise for all of us to share that field as when we're dancing or creating or sharing a story, fictional or parallel world from reality. In reality, it's very important to keep things simple, to keep things as it is. that's fragile. Is the most beautiful thing that life has is that it's fragile, it's vulnerable, it's real, a reality. As we were born, that we die. Yeah. Celebrate, really thank all those people who fought to prevent for the education of children and their gender. And there's so many good people out there. That's to celebrate. Cheers. And we'll keep fighting for that to be celebrated. Bye.